Storm season is in high gear, and we're keeping an eye on the tropics. Hurricane Irma is churning in the Atlantic, and we'll get to that in just a minute. But right now, Texas is still recovering from the destruction Hurricane Harvey left behind. Now, later today, President Donald Trump will be meeting with victims as the recovery efforts continue. Sonia Mogi is in Houston, where the severe flooding has taken a toll on that city.
It has now been more than a week since Harvey made landfall on the Texas coast, and families still dealing with the effects of that storm in different ways, like the family in the house behind me, cleaning up all of their belongings out of their home, just trying to clean up after all that flood water, and still people in other parts of Texas and in Louisiana dealing with that flood water even still. The numbers from Hurricane Harvey are staggering. At least 50 people have died from the storm. Tens of thousands are in shelter. 440,000 have registered for emergency federal assistance, and thousands of homes and businesses remain flooded. And today, growing health and environmental concerns over multiple fires at a chemical plant northeast of Houston. 15 deputies exposed to smoke were treated at a local hospital and later released. President Donald Trump will return to Texas today to assess the damage and meet with local officials as well as victims at a relief center. The White House formally asked Congress on Friday for nearly $8 billion in disaster relief funding.
There was no outbreak in crime. There was an outbreak of compassion only. Real, beautiful, strong compassion.
There's a dresser over here that might...
For those Houston residents who have begun their cleanup, like Darren Leroy, the terrifying emotional wounds of their survival are still fresh.
Couldn't see, the water was splashing up in our faces. My little son, my daughter and my wife ended up having to hold his head above the water the whole time.
Leroy and his family are members of Lakewood Church. He says he needs Sunday's sermon now more than ever.
And there's going to be a lot of people breaking down and crying and holding and praying and praising God, and it's going to be an amazing healing moment, in my opinion, and it's going to be necessary.
That family is one of the lucky ones. They were able to go through that water, make it to a neighbor's home, staying with those neighbors in the second story of their home until the water receded several days later. They are now staying in some temporary housing from their landlord, but still tens of thousands of people are in shelters, even still. Reporting live in Houston, Texas, I'm Sonia Mogi.
Some Port Canaveral restaurants are joining together this Labor Day weekend to raise money in the wake of Harvey. Rusty's Seafood, Fish Lips, and Grills are all donating 5% of sales to Houston's food bank. Now, each restaurant was damaged in Hurricane Matthew last year.
Our hearts go out, and whatever we can do to help them.
We're here to help, and that's what we're looking forward to do.
There you go.
Anyone who dines with them through Monday will get proof on their receipt that they are helping Harvey victims. The group is also collecting food and water. Drop-off locations include the restaurants, plus the Cocoa Beach Chamber of Commerce in Merritt Island, and other locations at the Avenue Vieira. And the main focus continues to be on the weather here at the top of the hour. We touched on Hurricane Harvey, the relief that's going on there, but now let's talk about Hurricane Irma. Meteorologist Jamie Martin joins us live from the Weather Center. And Jamie, what do we know about Irma right now?
Yeah, Irma is well off in the Atlantic still. That is good news. We have plenty of time to watch it. A little more local right now. We're already seeing a few spotty showers, but we're going to be pretty busy out there, not because of Irma, just because we have a lot of tropical moisture sitting over us. A live look at Storm Tracker 13 Doppler radar. As you can see, we've got a few light rain showers up northern parts of Lake County, parts of Volusia County. But again, on the light side, a little heavier rain just off of Cedar Key. That's going to be pushing its way across the extreme northwestern parts of Marion County over the next few hours. Let's talk about Irma right now. As you can see, Irma's looking about 19.0 north, 41.8 west. Winds of 110 miles per hour. It's moving to the west at 14 miles per hour, and the pressure is down to 970 millibars. So it is a rather strong Category 2 hurricane, but it is expected to gain some strength over the next few days as it curves its way just to the north of the Leeward Islands. So we're going to have to watch this one very carefully. We'll have the latest on it throughout the day and the weekend coming up with your weather on the ones.
Right now, the search is on for 3 men who tried to rob a man who was doing lawn work in Orange County. Deputies say a red vehicle approached the man off of Limpkin Drive yesterday. Then 3 males, 2 of them with firearms, got out and tried to rob the victim. But we're told that the victim pulled his own gun and fired at the 3 people. He believes he hit one of them. Take a look at this video, which has now gone viral. It shows a Salt Lake City, Utah detective dragging a screaming nurse from a hospital. She was arrested for not allowing authorities to take a blood sample from an unconscious victim without a warrant. Prosecutors are calling for an investigation, and the police chief says that his department is cooperating.
I am sad at the rift this has caused between law enforcement and the nurses we work so closely with. I want to be very clear. We take this very seriously. Immediate steps were taken within 12 hours. Body camera footage was reviewed, and an internal affairs investigation was started.
The detective in the video has been put on administrative leave. The Volusia County Sheriff's Office is investigating the death of an inmate. 36-year-old Desiree McFarland was pronounced dead on Friday. Deputies say that she was found unresponsive in a jail shower last Sunday. They say that she may have attempted suicide earlier this week. Just a week after Florida executed an inmate for the first time in a year and a half, Governor Rick Scott signed a death warrant for another one. Michael Ray Lambree, who has a handful of other aliases, was convicted in the 1983 killings of Clarence Moore and Alicia Bryant near LaBelle. Now, Lambree has been locked up on first-degree premeditated murder charges since 1984. His execution is now set for October 5th. Next week, we're expected to hear what President Trump will do with DACA, the program that allows children of illegal immigrants to work and study here in the U.S. Attorney generals in several states are urging the president to drop the immigration protections enacted by the Obama administration. Now, while it's still unclear what the president will decide, local DACA recipients say that they're worried.
Home is where you feel safe, and this is where I feel safe, but right now, things are not looking so good for us.
Vasquez studies nutrition at Seminole State College and organized a community garden at the Hope Community Center in Apopka. Governor Rick Scott released a statement saying kids must be allowed to pursue the American dream and Congress must act immediately. His statement reads in part, quote, "I am encouraged by the approach Congressman Carlos Curbelo and Senator Tim Tillis is working on to address this problem. The proposals offer the eventual path to U.S. citizenship for immigrants who entered illegally before the start of 2012 and were 16 years old or younger. Now, it would grant high school grads without a serious criminal record conditional immigration status for a 5-year period. If they earn a higher education degree and serve in the U.S. military or stay employed, they could apply for permanent residency and eventually citizenship."
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Aye.
City officials in Hollywood, Florida have agreed to change the names of several streets named after Confederate soldiers. The streets include Forest, Lee, and Hood. Now, one commissioner excused himself from the room during the meeting, frustrated that residents weren't able to weigh in. But the change is still coming, and it could cost the people who live and work on those streets.
The actual cost to the homeowner is not that significant. If you own a business, it could be more if you have stationary signage.
I feel that the cost should be shared between all citizens, not just the ones that live on the streets.
It's unclear when the names will change or what the new names will be. The University of Florida says white nationalists are not permanently banned from speaking at the school. This comes after denying one group's request last month. Richard Spencer spoke at a rally in Charlottesville a few weeks ago, which sparked violence in the town. UF's president said that although the campus supports free speech, he's concerned about student safety. However, yesterday, the university's attorney said UF will try to accommodate Spencer if he makes a new formal request for a speaking date. State Attorney Aramis Ayala created a new death penalty review panel for her future first-degree murder cases. This after the Florida Supreme Court sided with Governor Rick Scott's decision to reassign dozens of her cases. Now, the panel will be comprised of 6 prosecuting attorneys along with the attorney assigned to the case. Now, they'll be the ones who actually recommend to Ayala whether or not to seek the death penalty. Ayala says the attorneys have all sought the death penalty in the past and are not opposed to pursuing capital punishment.
Remove myself from the process. While I remain the state attorney, I remain the person in charge of this office. When it comes to death penalty, I'm prepared to give that power to them to make the determination. I will not be a part of the board, and then after the board has made its determination, present that to me, and the attorney assigned will then file the notice to seek death if it is appropriate.
Every crime needs to be looked at, full justice. I think I've moved 29 cases to Brad King. I think it's very important that we always think about the victims and their families.
At this point, State Attorney Ayala is not planning to try to get back any of those reassigned cases. Attorneys for the Pulse gunman's widow are asking for her trial to be moved out of Orlando. Now, attorneys argue the extensive media coverage and statements made by Orlando Police Chief John Mina created a bias which would make it impossible to seat an impartial jury in Orlando. Noor Salman is accused of obstructing justice and aiding her husband in the planning and carrying out of the Pulse nightclub attack. And your time right now is 8:11. That means it's time for your second weather update of the hour. Meteorologist Jamie Martin is joining us live from the Weather Center. And Jamie, are you tracking any storms here locally?
Yeah, David, no storms right now, but we will see some showers and storms as we head through the afternoon hours. Going to start heating things up. About a 60% chance of showers and storms as we head through the rest of your afternoon. Let's go and talk about what's out in the Atlantic. That's Hurricane Irma still churning out there with 110-mile-per-hour winds. It has moved to the west at 14. Its location 19.0 north, 41.8 west. It is continuing to push off to the west. Eventually, it's going to hook a little bit southwest and then should start to move a little more towards the northwest as we head towards day 4 and 5. Of course, we'll have to watch that carefully. That is just computer guidance. Let's go ahead and talk about what's going on locally, though. Here's a live look at Storm Tracker 13 Doppler radar. Not showing any thunderstorms across the area, but we do have a few showers, some heavy rain off of Levy County right now. Around central Florida, though, just a couple of spotty showers here over towards the land in Deltona, so maybe a little brief shower out there, but it's going to be on the light side. The heavier stuff comes in as we head towards the afternoon hours. 75 in Titusville right now, also Melbourne and Leesburg, 74 in Orlando and Kissimmee, 76 in Sanford. So yeah, we're looking at temperatures starting off mainly in the mid-70s, so a little bit on the warm and muggy side. It's going to be warm and muggy throughout the day. Our temperatures topping out around 90 degrees with, again, about a 60% chance of showers and storms. 83 degrees by 8 p.m. Tomorrow morning, 75 and about 87 degrees coming up by brunch time tomorrow. Here's a look at Futurecast as we go through the afternoon hours. Pretty quiet all the way through your lunchtime here, but as we get towards the afternoon, 3, 4 o'clock, yeah, that's when we really start to spark up those showers and storms. They're going to continue to develop and enhance as we get it to about 6, 7 o'clock this evening from Titusville to Melbourne, back out towards Kissimmee and southward from there as we see the east and the west coast sea breezes coming together. So a pretty good flare-up of evening showers and storms in our southern counties. Otherwise, things start to quiet down during the overnight hours. We'll talk more about what you can expect for the rest of your Labor Day weekend coming up with your 7-day outlook in about 10 minutes with your weather on the ones. Right now, under the live look at Storm Tracker 13 Doppler radar.
Central Floridians continue to come to the aid of Harvey storm victims, what the city of Belle Isle is shipping to the Lone Star State, and where you can drop the materials off. Then, coming up in our next half hour, we'll show you how a boxing legend is.
Storm Tracker 13 is brought to you by Attorneys Martinez-Manglardi. Martinez-Manglardi, fighting for results since 1988.
This hurricane season, you've got a powerhouse in your corner. Storm Tracker 13.
These storms popping up fast, moving even faster.
Only News 13 has Storm Tracker 13. Always tracking storms, giving you minute-by-minute information.
Going to be off the coast by 3 a.m.
Delivering technology that gives you time to prepare and keeps you safe.
You definitely want to take precautions.
Storm Tracker 13, the most powerful name this hurricane season, is on News 13, exclusively on Spectrum.
I'm John Morgan. If you have a business dispute or have been defrauded in an investment, the legal bill could be more than your claim itself. If you can even afford the hourly billing in the first place, we have another way. For the last 5 years, we've recovered millions of dollars for business claims on a percentage basis. We only get paid if you get paid. Use our financial strength and reputation to level your playing field. When it comes to your business, don't pay for hours, pay for results. Visit us at businesstrialgroup.com.
Here's my favorite place to shop for antiques and collectibles. Renninger's Antique Center, the largest source for antiques in Florida for 33 years. Each shop is individually owned, so I'm sure to receive personal attention. Could you help me find a primitive gate leg table with the original finish?
Sure, you'll find those items and much more in this shop.
Renninger's Antique Center. Expect to receive quality and value from all their shop owners. Everything you need all in one location.
I was in a bad car accident and Dan got me $100,000 for my injuries.
Hi, I'm attorney Dan Newland. I was honored to help Peter recover $100,000 for his car accident case, and I'd be honored to personally help you too. You don't have to wait till Monday to get free advice. Call me today, Saturday or Sunday, from anywhere in Central Florida at 407-888-8000. That's 407-888-8000.
If I was ever in an accident again, I would definitely call attorney Dan Newland.
News 13 is brought to you by Hunters Creek Dental, home of the same-day dentures.
Exclusively on Spectrum. Florida Lottery is brought to you by 1-800-TRIAL-PRO. Don't just hire an attorney, hire a trial professional.
Donations are coming in for storm victims in Texas from all across Central Florida. And you have until tomorrow at noon to drop yours off at Belle Isle City Hall in Orange County. Folks are bringing pet food, drinks, people food, and supplies for children.
Asking for cleanup products. And a lot of people don't realize that the biggest thing is when they go back home, the reality of losing their homes. A lot of them do not have flood insurance, so they're going to be living out of their home for a long time without insurance and probably staying with, relatives.
So far, they have filled nearly 4 semis. The White House submitted its request for emergency hurricane funding to Congress. Now, senior administration officials say it's worth $7.85 billion, with a big chunk of that money going to FEMA. Roughly $450 million would go to the Small Business Administration for disaster recovery loans for homes and businesses damaged by the storm. Now, in order for this request to come to fruition, Congress may have to raise the federal debt limit.
3, 2, 1. Okay, who's this one?
East Orange County is getting a brand new fire station for the first time in 10 years. Orange County Fire Rescue broke ground on Fire Station 67 yesterday. The station is being built on University Boulevard. Fire Station 67 is a project of Mayor Teresa Jacobs' Invest in Our Home for Life initiative.
With everything happening out here, we're so excited to be able to begin this new fire station. It'll be the first of 3 that we're doing as part of the Invest program.
Construction is expected to be completed by the spring of 2018. Volkswagen plans to resell cars involved in the 2015 emission cheating scandal. Last year, VW agreed to pay more than $15 billion to settle criminal charges and civil claims. Now, this after nearly 600,000 of their vehicles were sold with devices designed to beat U.S. emission tests. The first batch of vehicles for sale will include 2015 models that went unsold in the wake of the scandal. Higher mileage vehicles will be scrapped.
Looks like a couple of busy afternoons as we head through the rest of your holiday weekend. A good 50 to 60%.
Stay on top of what's happening in your neighborhood.
An update now for you coming into the News 13 newsroom.
Follow News 13 on Twitter.
At Spectrum, we know you want it all. Speed and reliability. Strength and flexibility. Everything at your fingertips, instantly. This is our challenge. It's why we've built an advanced fiber-rich network that connects more than 500 million devices today and countless more tomorrow. That's why our work is never done. Spectrum, redefining what a cable company can be.
At Spectrum Business, the best keeps getting better. What does that mean for you? It means your business gets faster internet, more advanced voice, and the network reliability it needs. It also means no added taxes or fees, and no contracts, ever. Because at Spectrum Business, we believe in earning your business every day. It's all a part of our commitment to redefining what a cable company can be. We're sure you'll notice the difference.
Now at the Honda Summerbration sales event, you can get a great deal on a Honda Civic and keep things festive all summer long. Your unforgettable summer begins today with a trip to the Honda Summerbration sales event. Hurry in and get a great deal on a Honda Civic from KBB.com's best value brand at your local Honda dealer.
At the Trial Professionals, we protect people with all kinds of cases. Car accidents, slip and falls, workers' compensation, Social Security claims. We're here to speak with you now, even on the weekends.
I could always pick up the phone and speak to my attorney.
Anytime I gave them a call, they always answered my questions.
They were open 7 days a week, so that's always great.
Don't wait till Monday. Let a Trial Professional start protecting you and your family now. Call 1-800-TRIAL-PRO.
News 13 is the only 24-hour news station in Central Florida. So when you want your news and weather, only News 13 delivers now, exclusively on Spectrum.
Exclusively on Spectrum. Your accurate weather experts forecast with Storm Tracker 13.
Hey, good morning, everybody. As we start off our holiday weekend, things looking pretty good across Central Florida, but we'll see the chance of more showers and thunderstorms, about a 50 to 60% chance as we head through the day. And everybody's talking about Hurricane Irma well off in the Atlantic still, so we have plenty of time to watch it, but it does pack winds of about 110 miles per hour. Moving to the west at 14. Pressure's all the way down to 970 millibars. Location 19.0 north, 41.8 west. We'll have a full update on the tropics coming up at 51 after the hour. Let's go ahead and talk about our conditions here in Central Florida, because we're going to see the eruption of showers and thunderstorms as we head towards the afternoon hours, especially as we get towards 4 or 5 o'clock in the afternoon. Again, not going to see everybody getting rain out there, but we will see about a 60% coverage as we head through the daytime hours and into the evening, especially during the maximum heating of the day, about 4 or 5 o'clock in the afternoon. As we head through the overnight hours, things pretty quiet to start off your Sunday, but we'll see another round of showers and storms beginning to develop out here in the Gulf of Mexico, push right on across Central Florida through the afternoon and evening hours. So for today and tomorrow, about a 50 to 60% chance of showers and storms. And then coming up for Labor Day itself, we're still going to see the chance of showers out there, about a 50% chance as we head through the afternoon and into the evening. Let's go ahead and talk about our temperatures today with some extra cloud cover. We'll see temperatures a little bit below what we saw over the last couple of days. 90 in Melbourne, 90 also in Palm Bay, 89 in Cocoa, 88 for Cape Canaveral. Then heading back in here towards the inland areas, over towards the attractions, 91 in Kissimmee, also Point Siena, 90 in Holopaw, 90 in Kenansville, and then back out towards Orange County. If you're heading out for a walk around Lake Eola, right about 90, 91 in Wedgefield, 91 at Dr. Phillips, 89 for a high in Apopka, and over towards Seminole County about the same. We're looking at temperatures near 90, but when you factor in the humidity, it's going to feel a little bit closer to 102 to 103 this afternoon. 90 in Astor, 89 for your golf game at the Villages, 90 in Eustis, 91 in Claremont, and over towards Daytona Beach, 89, 88 New Smyrna, 90 in DeLand and Deltona. Here's a look at your marine forecast. Not too bad out there, but clouds will be building along with some showers and storms, wind switching eventually to the south at about 5 knots. Seas running at 2 to 3 feet. Here's a look at your 7-day outlook. You can see pretty busy conditions coming up over the next couple of days. We're not going to see a big change in the overall weather pattern, so we're going to keep a good 50 to 60% chance of showers and storms all the way in towards your Labor Day itself. We're looking at about a 50% chance of showers and storms. Temperatures staying mainly in the low 90s all the way through the middle of the week, and overnight lows back in the mid 70s. Here's a look at your pollen forecast. Coming up for today, a 1.4 going up to an 8.3 coming up on your Sunday. We'll keep you updated on the showers and storms right here with the weather on the ones. Right now, a live look at Storm Tracker 13 Doppler radar.
We have a full weekend ahead of us, jam-packed with local events, festivities, and fun. News 13's entertainment reporter Allison Walker-Torres has all the details.
This is your Saturday on the town calendar. Now, this Labor Day weekend, Brevard Zoo's annual Cold-Blooded Weekend event will cast light on scaly, slimy superheroes of the animal kingdom with more than a dozen temporary exhibits and daily presentations. Now, you'll have the chance to feed stingrays and even chow down on a bug buffet. Yeah, the Cold-Blooded Weekend is today through Monday. And if you're into Johnny Depp, Robert Downey Jr., Cher, all of them are in town right now to entertain you. All right, we're talking about the lookalikes, but they're here because it is time for the Sunburst Showcase of Celebrity Impersonators. This is going on this afternoon at the Florida Hotel and Conference Center. Tickets are $25. Palm Bay Caribbean Music and Food Festival is all day today and most of tomorrow at Space Coast Harley-Davidson. Now, in addition to Caribbean cuisine, there's a kids' village with bounce houses and water slides and back-to-back music. Admission is $10. Now, how cool would it be to just check off a few people on your Christmas list today? Buckler's 28th annual Christmas in September craft fair is this weekend at Volusia County Fair and Expo Center in DeLand. Handmade creations, fudge, they have custom holiday decor out there. Adults get in for $6, kids 12 and under, you're walking in for free. Now, today's hand stamp will also get you in tomorrow, adults. All right, it sounds a heck of a lot like St. Patrick's Day in Disney Springs right now. The Great Irish Hoolie is happening now at Raglan Road. They're bringing in authentic Irish entertainment, including Elevation, touted as the greatest U2 tribute in the world. Festivities go all the way through Monday night. This is your Saturday on the town calendar. I'm Allison Walker-Torres.
Meanwhile, in case you missed it, the ride vehicle for the upcoming Slinky Dog Dash coaster has arrived at Disney's Hollywood Studios. See what it looks like and read up on the latest Halloween Horror Nights announcements right now at mynews13.com/attractionsinsider.
Remove the book, have a different alternative for the reading.
A Pinellas County mother is demanding a controversial book read in her daughter's class be removed from education countywide. Marquita Osehi was shocked to learn what words the Liberation of Gabriel King uses and is meeting with district officials about the situation.
During the story in chapter 3, there's a situation where Frida punches someone in the nose, and the parent of the child says, "You got beat up by a girl."
The incident with the teacher still being reviewed, and in the instance, a letter was not sent home to inform the parents that the controversial material was covered and the book should not have been read out loud.
They're hoping a new review of the book will take it off the table as an option for teachers. District officials could make that decision in the coming days.